Hey dancers, I'm here today with the lovely Vicki at Dance Xtreme Bodywear. She is going to fit Alice for her first pair of pointe shoes today. She's also going to fit me too. We're looking forward to seeing what she does with Alice's feet, and we're super excited to get her on pointe for the very first time.
Alrighties, so what we're doing is we're looking at the type of feet that you have. Okay, so you have some pretty short toes. You've got a very large gap between these toes, okay? You can actually grow another toe in there, all right? The one thing I noticed is you have very long toenails. Toenails need to be flush against the skin, okay? If I push my finger up against your big toe, I can't feel this toenail. Right now I feel it. So when you get into your pointe shoes, this is gonna push back. See how it turns your nail white? It'll bruise it, honey, and then you'll lose it, okay? What we also have to do is we have to make sure no matter how hard we try, we squeeze your feet into shoes, all right? So we want to make sure that we don't create like the pseudo bunion. Because of your age, honey, all we can do is create a pseudo bunion. But younger people, we can actually reshape their feet. Okay, you got short toes, a broad box, so you got a little bit of a wider foot. So we're going to use the spacer. These are called super spacers. And we're going to stick this in here. And this is going to keep this toe aligned because we actually squeeze your feet into the shoe. So this keeps it as straight as we can. If we would not do that, if we not use the spacer, all your pressure is going to be here on the outside of the toe rather than the center of the toe. It's very important that you feel the pressure on the center of the big toe. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. Normally you put these in a little bit of powder so they're not so sticky. Okay. Now, some people are a little bit more sensitive than others. We're going to just use the standard Ouch Pouch pad. It's a really light pad. It just prevents you from blisters, not so much for comfort. So go ahead and put your foot up here, honey. So you want to make sure when you put your toe pad on, you want to make sure that you get all your 5 toes nestled in there. And you want to make sure that these pads cover these bones. These are your metatarsal bones, so make sure they're nice and covered. You never want your pads short like at the bone line, because this will cause the ridge of the shoe and the ridge of the seam of the pad to kind of dig in, and then they cause numbness and burning and tingling. So go ahead and put your tight over the pad. By putting the tight over the pad, it keeps the pad from shifting. There you go. Put it on. Oops. So go ahead and stand up. So what we're looking for when you kind of pick a shoe, you want to look at the arch of your feet. So go back to first position, tendu side, and you're looking for this. So this tells me that Alice has very, very archy feet, okay? Because then she touches a really nice arch, like a C inside her arch. Point this one. Very nice arches. Then first position releve. You want to make sure that all 5 toes are down. She breaks right here, so she's got very good placement. So that means that Alice has got very good technique. Alrighty, come on down. So now we need to find a shoe. Go ahead and have a seat, honey. We need to find a shoe to the width of your foot. Okay, so let's try on, try this one. So we're going to try on one that actually fits her width. If you look at Alice's feet, go ahead and stand up for me, honey. If you look at the foot, you can see that she has a broader metatarsal. And then we want this foot to fit into this shoe, okay? So she's going to put that shoe on. So Alice has got a pretty short toes and a pretty wide metatarsal. So we need to find a shorter vamp and a wider box for her. Okay. All right, so go ahead and stand up. And then let's do 1 foot up and pull yourself up. So what you're looking for is you want to make sure that you have a shoe that's hugging the foot line, which it does. You want a small pinch back here. She's got quite a bit of pinch. What happens with feet that are so flexible, they have these things called disappearing heels. So what happens when you have archy feet, honey, your heel kind of tucks under, but we fill this all in and we make it nice and clean. Okay, you want to make sure she's on top of her boxes, which she is. You want to make sure that this is a nice, strong line and not a belly foot where the belly will come out like this, okay? You want to make sure these bones are inside the box. It's going to be tight, but it shouldn't be, it's going to be tight and it's going to be uncomfortable, but it shouldn't want to make you cry. If you want to cry, then something's wrong. How does that feel? Pretty good? Okay, have a seat. Now, let's try on a shoe that isn't your foot. So go ahead and stand up. So again, if you go to a lot of places, they're going to try to put her in shoes that don't fit her feet because they don't make a feet people. So what the tendency is to go ahead and squish your feet into shoes. Remember, all 5 toes have to be flat. They cannot be crunching or bunching. They have to be flat and tight. Okay? So now she's going to try to put this shoe on. She should not be able to put this shoe on. But what we found is she has feet that are very compressible. Now everybody has different feet, and this is kind of a unique quality, okay? But that shoe looks really good on you, so. All right, waddle on over there, sweetie. So go to second and deep plie. All right, this is where your feet are the widest and the longest. Remember that. Stay down there. So everything should be nice and tight in here. Should be a really strong handshake right there, kind of giving you a big bear hug, okay? Big toe might be touching the end of the box ever so slightly. Everything good? Everything should be straight and flat. Let's go back to first. And then one foot up and pull yourself up. So basically going down, Alex, this particular shoe, there's so many different styles, but this one has a very low heel profile, okay? So it looks like the shoe is gonna fall off her foot. And if she were to try to roll up, they would. But this shoe is, the technology is this shoe is gonna come up and wrap. It needs to be a tight fit. So go back to first and then one foot up and pull yourself up. And as you can see, the shoe just wraps around her heel. Now again, she's got a little bit more room in the back than I'd like to see, but she can't get the half a size down on, and that's because she's got these things called disappearing heels because of her very archy feet. So basically when we crisscross this, we'll probably put a small heel grip in this to try to give it some substance so she doesn't lose her heels. This is a very, very low vamp. So turn around, honey. Face. So as you can see, this shoe has got a very low profile, all right? And so it's really more towards her short little toes and her wide little foot right here, okay? You want to make sure that everything is nice and straight here. You don't see her sickling at all, which she's not. She's totally centered in a shoe. The one thing you'll notice with her arch, just turn the foot out like this, sweetie, is that you can see all this air right here. That's air. That's her crazy arch right here. So what we're going to do once we get the elastic on, we may bend this a little bit to push that shoe back in the arch because you don't want to see air in the shoe for a dancer. Then you know they're sitting too high in the shoe. So we're gonna fix that for her, okay? All right, makes sense, honey? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Good. Alrighty, go to first, shoulders back, tummy tuck, butt tucked under. Don't look down. When you look down, push your hips back, and let's roll up. Nice. How's that? Ribbons feel, honey? Good? Mm-hmm. And down and up. And make sure you get on your big toe on your left because you were just on your pinky, honey. Is that you?
Yeah.
Cracking?
Ankle crack.
Okay, and down. And up.
Great.
Cross over to Susu. Just cracking. And boo right, honey. She's a beauty. She's beautiful. Okay, those are your point shoes. 18 to 22 hours. Make sure you sew them. Every place where I have a pin is where you sew.
Okay.
Make sure they're tight stitches, honey, because you do a lot of pulling on these, okay?
That's all for for today, dancers. We hope you had a lot of fun watching Alice get her very first pair of pointe shoes. We know that pointe shoe fittings can be super intimidating, but Vicki here at Dance Xtreme Bodywear and all fitters are always super sweet and super excited to help you. Your main goal is making sure that you're healthy, comfortable, and safe in your pointe shoes and not doing any unnecessary damage to your feet. Can't wait to help you get on point when you're ready and super strong and have all the right mobility in your ankles. Until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Take care.